Hey, everybody, welcome into this segment of Rivian News. As you well know, Keith and I cannot get enough of talking about Rivian. And why is that? Because they have been very successful. And despite some things that some people have said that they're not the first electric truck, depending on how you look at it and parse those words, depends on, how much
depends on what your definition
is. But let's just say this. Everybody out there is saying that Rivian has come to the market with the first all-electric, full-size pickup truck. And it definitely...
But wait, Jay.
What? Yes?
Macy's used EVs in 1918 on their production line to load trucks in the warehouse.
Yeah, but that's not the same.
Yeah, but you're technically wrong.
Yeah, technically I might be, but it's not the same.
But wait, Ford and GM test piloted with their S10 and the Ranger pickup a fleet of 200 or so lead-acid electric trucks for some auto parts delivery service.
Right.
So technically you're wrong.
Technically I'm wrong? I don't think so.
These are actual comments that we've gotten on our channel, everybody.
Yeah. So let me be very clear to anyone out there. Keith and I, the parts counter gurus, we're very aware that there are other electric vehicles and trucks that have been electrified out there previously, but those were non-production vehicles. So they do not classify as what Rivian is. They are the first full-size, all-electric pickup truck to come to production.
But wait, Ford owns a portion of a Rivian, so technically Ford was first.
Yeah, I own a portion of Amazon. I'm not the first guy to own a portion of Amazon. So there you go, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, the arguments we get into on this program. So just to kind of warm that up a little bit, we are going to be getting into a little bit of the Rivian IPO, which is the initial public offering.
Right. Speaking of owning portions of.
Yes, and which Amazon has a stake in it, Ford has a stake in it. But those are private investors, correct? Is that considered a private investor? Would they?
Yeah. Yes.
They would be. They would be considered a SPAC. Is that correct?
Well, I'm no financial guru, but yeah, that is completely different than an IPO, an initial public offering, where the public has the opportunity to go out and buy shares,
right,
of a company, right? They then become publicly traded.
Exactly. Now, we will say this. Keith and I are not advisors on the stocks that you should be buying, but we are, as individuals, paying very close attention to the electric vehicle market, and Rivian being the first all-electric pickup truck, and they're going to do the similar thing that Tesla did, which is go public. So, and give you an opportunity to get out there and go buy some stocks, and I don't know when that's coming, but we're going to get into a little bit.
Well, they filed for their IPO. That's done. So now, typically there's a review period. This used to be a pretty standard window, but I want to say with COVID and the changes, it's altered a little bit. But I would expect that if it gets approved, and right now I'm not reading anything that indicates it wouldn't. You're looking at probably a month or two, and Jay, and everybody, I'm gonna make this statement. Please don't take my advice on any sort of trading in the stock market.
Right.
But I'm not even really. I don't have a dog in this fight. We're not a Rivian channel. We're not a Tesla channel. We're not a Ford channel. We're not a Chevy channel. But what we are is fans of people that are moving the needle.
Right.
And I've said it before. I've said it many times. I am a fan of the way Rivian is running their company.
Absolutely.
I'm going to buy some shares of Rivian because I think that trend of running things well is going to continue.
Right. So speaking of buying some of those stocks, when this happens, folks, if you're willing to do this, NASDAQ has given it the symbol as RIVN. That is what it will be on the trading.
Wait, shouldn't it be FRD1?
Right, or AMZ2?
Right.
Or, yeah. Right. No, this is all Rivian, guys. this is going to be good for them. And if I am a private investor right now, I am licking my chops because you're going to get some return on your investment here.
Well, and and a lot of that is always public opinion, right? It really doesn't even have that much to do. It does have a little bit to do with, if the company's profitable or not. But that's why you can have companies like Lordstown or Nikola that were trading with positive numbers in the stock market, even though they haven't really produced anything yet, and they're already publicly traded.
Absolutely, yeah. And so, just keep in mind that some things that are forthcoming now. We just recently saw the first pickup truck roll off the assembly line, and I saw somewhere where the first customer physically received their Rivian.
But that's just one guy. Like,
just
they're
one
not
guy,
actually rolling these out in mass right now. That's all just for like public relations.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Again, comments we've seen on our actual YouTube channel.
Right. So just keep this in mind that Rivian Rivian is working with Amazon, as we all know, with the delivery vans, and they are committed to 100,000 of those.
Yeah. So the press has been all over. Hey, Rivian's lost a lot of money. I mean, they're getting close to $1 billion in losses if they haven't already exceeded that. Yeah. Well,
didn't Tesla lose a little money too?
Yeah. Well, they are just now delivering product. So I guess what I'm saying is, that has to happen because there's manufacturing costs, there's production costs, there's R&D costs. If you don't have a product to market yet, you are going to do nothing but lose money. And then once you bring the product to market, it's a catch-up game, right? So
that's exactly right.
It's not the losses are going to continue for a while,
right? Fine
but
example.
You got the Amazon van delivery thing that's about to happen, and that's a huge shot in the arm for them, right?
It really is. Plus, they are dedicated to delivering nearly 50,000 of the trucks and the SUVs in the coming years. And I think that as the investments from them going public come to fruition, that's when you're going to start seeing the plant expansions. They may be in other states, part of the country.
Yeah.
They may be elsewhere. We don't know. But you have to. The losses that they have taken doesn't come as no surprise. It's no surprise to anybody in this type of business. You have to spend money to make money, and that's what a lot of these private investors they take that on the chin going in. But obviously, knowing up front the capabilities and the transparency that RJ Scaringe has had throughout this whole process.
That is key.
That is key.
Is huge.
And let me just, and again, I hate to keep bringing this up, but that is an extreme. It is a complete 180 from what Lordstown Motors was doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jay and I have again, everybody, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please and thank you. We just hit a huge milestone, so thank you to our fans that are subscribed. But we said this before, like Rivian missed a couple projected delivery dates because of supply chain issues. He came right out and there was a statement, and RJ tweeted, and they basically offered everybody an explanation. It wasn't an excuse. It was, this is why. Again and again and again, they've done that. Another example would be, I like to call it donut mode, but tank mode, right, with the truck, where they said, hey, we know we showed videos of this, we've promoted it, it's not going to be available right away to the first editions. And here's why. Because there's some climbing issues if you're off-roading with this vehicle and you try to climb with it, you could get yourself into a little bit of a tricky situation. We need to work that out.
Absolutely.
So they're just they're following through with transparency. I like that, Jay. I like that explanation. Absolutely.
And the other thing is that while they have an agreement with Amazon, and the language reads that they are to deliver 100,000 vehicles, but there's also language in there that protects Rivian in case Amazon doesn't come through for them. And when I started reading that, I'm like, okay, this is not a bad situation to be in, because things change. The landscape can change over the course of 6 months. Look what's happened to us just in the course of the last close to 24 months of our economy just due to the pandemic. So things change. We know that. But this whole thing has been very well thought out, very well planned. And again, like we just said, the transparency that has come along with the steps that they're taking, the partnerships that they're making, and the fact that they're going public, it says a lot. I think that this is going to be. I think Rivian's going to be around a while. That's just my prediction. I don't think they're going to. It's going to be like, rainbows and unicorns or anything for them. Without, they're not going to go without problems. Because
That'd
they
be
will.
A great beer name, wouldn't it?
Rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, folks, we are still experiencing probably one of the greatest technology shortages on hand right now due to the pandemic, and that would be the semiconductor or the chip shortages. And let's face it, this is an electric vehicle. Now, Rivian may have already cracked that nut, which is we've talked about some of the chip manufacturers saying some of these automakers need to get it together and stop using some of this antiquated technology
They're
to make
using
it easier
older
on
stuff
them.
that because it keeps costs down,
Right.
And they don't need the horsepower that you would like in, let's say, a new Mac Pro or something
Right.
like that. So
Absolutely.
they're able to get away with a lesser expensive production model. That's this is a slower CPU, right?
Right, exactly. Now, for me, what I see with Rivian being able to produce their vehicle in this climate with the semiconductor shortages that we have, and the fact that they've rolled off the first production vehicle, they're saying they're going public, tells me that RJ Scaringe has, and his engineers, team of engineers, his workforce has realized their need to make some adjustments in that sector of their assembly process and or their technology that they're putting into these vehicles. So my bet is that's why they may be ahead of the curve on the semiconductor shortages, and that's why they're able to put these vehicles out, while manufacturers like Ford, GM, Lordstown, folks like that have continued to struggle with getting the vehicles out in a timely manner. Let's face it, there's people still out there waiting on Broncos that haven't been delivered due to chip shortages out there.
Yeah.
They did what GM called the build short strategy, which was let's build these vehicles and let's just go stack them in a field somewhere.
Oh no, it was a rock quarry in Troy, Missouri. I watched our video.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of watching videos, guys, make sure you subscribe to our channel before you leave this video. We need it. Like Keith said earlier, we've met a goal just recently, which is fantastic. That's youtube.com/Parts Kind of Gurus. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, click that bell, and make sure you tell a friend as well. So,
hey, now we're gonna do. Jay probably hates me doing this in real time and putting him on the spot. This will be fun though, everybody. Just bear with me here for another minute or two. So, Jay, did you ever do like a choose your own adventure book when you were a kid? Where it's like if you choose option A, you turn to page 76, and if you choose option B, you go to page 25. And you know what I'm talking about? Okay.
I do. Yeah.
All right. So option A, we continue this segment and we talk a little bit about the Ford investment into the EV market. Or option B, we tell everybody to continue, you click that subscribe button and move on over to the second segment, which will be a separate segment.
No, I'm going to go with A. Let's just slip on over here to this Ford investment in EVs, because nobody.
Bonus round, everybody.
Yeah, guess what? Nobody is buying EVs.
Okay.
Nobody, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
So could someone please tell me then why Ford Motor Company has decided to?
Well, hang on. Let me flip on over to page 75 to see how this turns out. Okay.
Yeah.
So Ford already has invested in Rivian. We talked about that at the beginning of this segment. They're making huge, and when I say huge, I mean. They're betting part of the company on this, right?
We're talking lots and lots and lots of zeros in there, man. Lots of zeros and decimals.
And we did a previous segment on Ford doing their micro transportation division Spin. They're a part owner in Spin, which is small, like personal transport EVs, like scooters, bicycles, right? So clearly they recognize that this is a trend that's not going away. So we're talking 11 Billion with a B.
11.4 billion.
Right. What do you got, Jay?
Okay, so the Ford Motor Company just recently gave the auto industry a jolt Monday, is what we have found out, and they plan to spend about $11.4 billion on new production sites in Tennessee and Kentucky, where it plans to build electric pickup trucks and cars and batteries to power them on a massive scale.
No. We are closed here in Tennessee. We've discussed this many, many times. We're closed. We're closed for business. It's a huge dumpster fire here. Please, people, stop moving here. Kentucky, fine. You can
Tax-free
move north
dollars.
of the border.
I'm sure those are Ford tax-free dollars. I mean, they got no problem with it. It'll create 11,000 jobs, which is most important.
This is exactly what happened in the national parks. Is we all started telling everybody how great it was to go and experience the outdoors, and now you can't get a spot there. And I'm living through that right now in Middle Tennessee. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah. I mean, look, 11,000 jobs is what they say that this is going to create. Now, I've also heard the argument, Keith, because nobody's buying EVs. I've also heard the argument that EV is going to put me out of business, or you're going to take jobs away from other sectors of the business. I don't think you're going to see that. I think, yes, you're going to see maybe some sectors that will close, but I do believe that it's going to open another door. So close one door, open another door, guys.
Well, and let's just stop on that whole mindset for just a minute. And maybe, like you said, maybe you lose your internal combustion job. Maybe you worked on the Stellantis SVT team. Right, which was disbanded recently, and now, but those people went elsewhere in the company. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that it does create a job loss. Okay,
right.
But do you really think you're going to stop that momentum? Like, what is your plan, person complaining about EVs? Are you going to turn the industry on its side by protesting? That's your plan? You think you're going to stop this momentum by complaining that they're taking jobs? The way through is to create a better product. If you don't like the battery-powered stuff, then come up with a better solution.
Right, exactly. If you're working in a plastic grocery bag plant right now, you might consider seeking another job. Here's why. Because those are going to be banned.
Well, but maybe I could just pick it out front of the factory, and that would change things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's the equivalent of what these people that are basically saying I hate EVs are doing.
Right. Again, let's say this, Keith. We are not pro EV. We are not anti gasoline engine, diesel engine. We are pro automotive industry. This is a core sector that's going to the survival of our industry rides on the technology that we have at hand right now. Period. And if we don't take it and run with it, then yes, you're absolutely right. You're not going to have a job.
Well, and this is a little bit of a tough love opinion from me, but if you're worried about losing your job, this is America. You can learn. You can better yourself, right? Like, go learn a new skill.
Right.
And that is a little bit of a tough love. And I know there's going to be people that come back and go, but this is the only job I'm trained for. Yeah, but
they will train you.
I mean, if
they're looking for workforce, they need a workforce. They will train you. These are a lot of these are union jobs. You got such great benefits
you're making
with it.
Is I work on a railroad, and if you take the railroads away, I'll have no work. Okay, well, the railroads are going to go away. Back in the early 1900s, when Henry Ford kind of came into his fame.
Right.
If he didn't do it, somebody else would have. Right. I mean.
Right. Exactly.
I agree with you. I just don't think arguing that we need to save the railroads is going to help you keep your job.
No. So let's give you this. Let's just now we're talking about jobs. We're talking about the numbers. Ooh, boy, oh boy. Of those 11,000 jobs that Ford says that they will create, 6,000 are destined for what's being called the Blue Oval City campus in Stanton, Tennessee. It's going to be a $5.6 billion mega campus where electric versions of the popular F-Series truck will be manufactured along with the electric batteries for those trucks. The new assembly plant is designed to be carbon neutral with zero waste and landfill. waste to landfill once fully operational. That's what Ford said in a statement. So Ford, we're going to hold you to that. We're going to hold you to it. So if not, we're going to be talking about this segment again. We like the carbon zero stuff.
Okay, this is
the remaining.
This is east of Memphis. Okay, I'm fine with that.
So it's
fine.
which is
fine with
which
that.
is common because you have a lot of there's a lot of automotive aftermarket and OEM original equipment manufacturer product or component divisions there, TRW. There's a bunch of them out there. I mean, I could just rattle them off like crazy. But the remaining 5,000 jobs are going to be going to Glendale, Kentucky. And it'll be a $5.8 billion Blue Oval SK battery park where batteries to power the next generation electric Ford and Lincoln vehicles.
Here comes your marquee, pal.
Lincoln Marquee coming to a dealership near you.
Jay has a running joke, everybody, that he's in his head created the first branded Lincoln EV, and he's going to call it the Lincoln Marquee. And you people at Ford, we know you're watching our channel. There's your freebie.
Give us some love. Lincoln Marquee, or bring back Mercury and call it the Mercury Grand Marquee. There you go. Anyway, that's just my thought on that. But they say that this will all be going on starting in 2025. Hey, nothing's happening in the EV world, is it?
Nah.
How much? $11.4 billion by just one single manufacturer, correct? How many jobs is creating? 11,000 jobs, right? We're taking jobs away, dude.
I don't even see how you guys can argue this point anymore. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go have a Xanax or something to calm down. You guys make sure you hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Right on.